Ali MacGraw's story is one of breathtaking stardom that arrived with a rush, only to fade almost as quickly. In 1970, with the release of Love Story, Ali became a global sensation. Her portrayal of Jennifer Cavallari, the tragic heroine, captured the hearts of audiences and made her an icon. Her beauty, grace, and vulnerability on screen created a perfect storm of stardom, with her face adorning magazines and her name on everyone's lips. Ali wasn't just a movie star. She was a symbol of the romantic ideal, a woman who embodied the longing and heartbreak that so many people could relate to. But while the world was mesmerized by her, Ali was already beginning to unravel, unaware of the cost of fame and the intense emotional toll it would take on her life. The price of fame. Beauty as a burden. Before her stardom, Ali MacGraw had a much quieter life, working as a model and later as an assistant at Vogue. But when she landed her breakthrough role in Love Story, it was as if the world paused to look at her. Suddenly, she was the face of a generation's heartbreak. Hollywood saw her as a product, not a person, and her beauty became both her blessing and her curse. There was little room for her individuality in an industry that demanded perfection at all costs. Beneath the surface, Ali was struggling. She had grown up in a turbulent environment with an alcoholic mother and emotionally distant father. Now, in the spotlight, she was thrust into a world that didn't see her complexity, but only the image they wanted to sell. This lack of emotional preparation left Ali vulnerable in a world that adored her for her looks, but offered little in the way of support. The marriages, searching for fulfillment. Ali MacGraw's personal life, especially her marriages, mirrored the emotional turmoil she experienced behind closed doors. Her first marriage to producer Robert Evans was marked by the power and glamour of Hollywood, but it was far from the fairy tale that the public imagined. The marriage, which began in the glow of her newfound fame, was based on a blend of business and love, and ultimately it ended in divorce after a few years. Ali then entered into a much-publicized relationship with Steve McQueen, one of Hollywood's most famous and unpredictable stars. This relationship, however, took a darker turn. McQueen didn't want the bright star Ali had become. He wanted a more subdued version of her, one that would be less visible and more obedient. For Ali, this meant sacrificing her career, independence, and sense of self to fit into a mold that left her emotionally drained. Living in the shadows. The struggles with Steve McQueen. In a twist of fate, Ali MacGraw found herself in the shadow of Steve McQueen's larger-than-life persona. The woman who had once commanded the spotlight now became invisible in his. McQueen's controlling behavior and volatile moods led to a marriage that took away everything Ali had once held dear: her career, her voice, and her sense of self-worth. She stopped acting, withdrew from the public eye, and spent years suppressing her own desires and dreams to please him. The more she tried to keep up with his demands, the more she felt herself shrink, both physically and emotionally. When McQueen eventually left her, it wasn't just the end of their relationship. It was the crushing blow that shattered the remaining pieces of her self-esteem. Ali was left alone, forgotten by Hollywood, her identity lost in the aftermath of a relationship that had demanded everything from her. The road to recovery, a turning point in the 1980s. By the late 1980s, Ali MacGraw hit rock bottom. She realized she could no longer continue down the path of self-destruction, and in a move that would mark a turning point in her life, she checked herself into the Betty Ford Clinic. This was not a publicity stunt. It was a desperate attempt at survival. It was in rehab that Ali began to confront the pain that had been haunting her for so many years. She finally began to acknowledge the deep feelings of unworthiness that had plagued her since childhood, and how fame had given her validation, but no real sense of stability. Ali also came to terms with the fact that she had spent so many years trying to please others, trying to fit into a role created for someone else, rather than embracing who she truly was. Finding peace, starting over in Santa Fe. After her recovery, Ali MacGraw decided to leave behind the chaos of Hollywood and find solace in a quieter life. She relocated to Santa Fe, New Mexico, a place where no one cared about her past fame. There, she embraced a more grounded, peaceful existence, focusing on nature, animals, and self-discovery. Gone were the days of being in the public eye, of trying to fit into a world that only saw her for her beauty. Instead, Ali immersed herself in the simplicity of life, planting gardens, studying Eastern philosophy, and finding comfort in stillness. She no longer sought validation from the world around her. Instead, she sought inner peace. And in that quiet, Ali began to find the strength to rebuild her life on her own terms, away from the pressures of fame. The quiet triumph, rediscovering herself. In Santa Fe, Ali MacGraw became more than the image of the tragic, beautiful woman the world had once known. She was a woman learning to live for herself, not for anyone else's expectations. As she distanced herself from the limelight, she embraced a quiet yet profound power. No longer defined by the roles she had played in Hollywood, Ali discovered that survival sometimes meant walking away from everything that had once defined her. Though her career was over and her beauty had faded, she had found something more valuable: self-acceptance. She had learned to love herself, not the version the world adored, but the woman who had survived, healed, and chosen to live a life of her own making. Living with grief, the lingering shadows. Though Ali MacGraw found peace in Santa Fe, her journey was not without its sadness. In rare moments when she opened up about her life, she spoke of the grief that still lingered beneath her calm exterior. She mourned the roles she had lost, the career that had never fully materialized, and the time she could never get back. But perhaps the most painful regret was the years she had spent trying to meet the expectations of others, rather than living authentically. Despite all of this, Ali had come to accept that her life had unfolded as it had, and there was no way to change the past. She had found solace in her own company, and in doing so, had found a strength she never knew she had. Legacy of quiet resilience. The real Ali MacGraw. Today, Ali MacGraw is remembered not just for the movie star she once was, but for the woman she became. While her acting career may have ended long ago, her story is far from over. It's a story of resilience, of a woman who walked away from the spotlight to find her truth. She represents the hidden narratives of many women who have been thrust into fame without the tools to navigate it. Ali's legacy is one of quiet strength, a reminder that sometimes the most profound victories come not in the roar of applause, but in the silence of self-rediscovery.